I've had the chance to teach in this classroom, the ALC, twice now. I was surprised, first of all, that this space existed, that people had invested in it, that they had consulted the TMU Indigenous community about what this room should look like. The majority of my students are non-Indigenous, but we are learning about Indigenous issues, Indigenous justice issues. It was just exciting that this room existed. How I started each class was going around with the smudge, and everyone could say pass, and then each person shared how their day was going. It's true. By the last class, they were asking me, "Oh, Professor, did you remember to bring the sage and the smudge?" And we had food, and it really did create that, yeah, sense of community, I would say, more than any other classes were able to do. I hadn't ever done this in my 5 years at TMU. No other classroom seemed to do the trick, so to speak. I can't even explain it. There's a feeling to the room that seems grounding and more relaxing than other classrooms. I would say the classroom led to having, building trust and then having those conversations that are often times vulnerable when we're talking about our own families, when we came to this place called Canada, and um, how we can take action today. We can never achieve full safety, I think, in a classroom, but at least I think the ALC offers at least space to move around, space to be comfortable. There's so many stories and so many almost lessons you can do based on just the mural itself in the room. Initially the students didn't realize that that's Toronto Island. Most of my students live in the GTA in Toronto, so tying that into what is our responsibility while we're on this land, and what are the stories, especially of Anishinaabe people connected to that Toronto Island. And I think some of those stories that is included on the ALC website to go along with the mural really were helpful to understand, not just the imagery, like what is a strawberry and what is this young person doing over here. It's got me thinking about where folks think they're at the beginning of class, where they belong, when did their families come to this place, and how, you know, uh, again, what are those responsibilities of living here now? I think it's really up to each Indigenous instructor to follow their own Indigenous pedagogy, whether that's, Cree, Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, or where they're from, which will be different for each Indigenous professor and unique in that way. It's just like thinking about culturally safe architecture and what does that look like, sound like, and feel like. And I think the ALC is, taking steps towards that.